Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome you all the students of class 11 for our chemistry lecture, chapter number 8, that is elements of group 1 and 2. This is our last part for the chapter, as this is the 7th lecture for the same. Today student, we are going to study about sodium hydroxide, its preparation, its properties and uses. Sodium hydroxide is also known as caustic soda. It is also known as caustic soda, and the formula for sodium hydroxide is NaOH. Na is the symbol for sodium, OH is for hydroxide. So, here student, the formula for sodium hydroxide is NaOH, and it is also known as caustic soda. Now, how it has been prepared. Sodium hydroxide is commercially obtained by the electrolysis of sodium chloride. What do you mean by electrolysis? In the presence of electricity, sodium chloride will break down. It will break down, okay, into sodium and chloride. So, brine solution is subjected to electrolysis in Kastner-Kellner cell. Here, it is an electrolytic cell where mercury is used as a cathode to terminal electrodes are there where mercury is used as cathode and carbon rod is used as an anode. Here metallic sodium liberated at the cathode forms sodium amalgam. As we know, sodium is a metal. This metallic, where we have taken a cell, electrolytic cell, okay, in which mercury is used as a cathode and carbon is used as an anode. We have passed the electricity. Then metallic sodium will be liberated at the cathode and it will form sodium amalgam, while chlorine gas is evolved at the anode. Fine. We have taken a solution of sodium chloride. In that, electrolysis process will take place, due to which metallic sodium will liberate at the cathode and form sodium amalgam, while chlorine will be liberated at the anode in the form of gas. This is the reaction. At cathode, sodium will be liberated, okay, it will get to sodium will get deposited at the cathode, Na plus, it will gain an electron and it will get converted into sodium amalgam, while anode, at the anode, chlorine gas will be liberated, it will get deposit at anode, okay, Cl minus, okay, it get converted into Cl2, okay, half molecule, 2 will be cancelled, it will become 1 by 2 into 2 we are getting 1, okay, Cl minus will get converted into half Cl2 plus electron. So here student, sodium hydroxide is obtained by treating sodium amalgam with water. We have got sodium amalgam at cathode. This sodium amalgam will reacted with water. You see, 2NaHg plus 2H2O. This sodium amalgam at cathode, it will react with water and get converted into sodium hydroxide. We are obtaining this sodium hydroxide, which is also known as caustic soda, okay, when hydrogen gas is liberated. Hydrogen gas will be liberated out, amalgam will also be get separated, okay. Fine student. So, how sodium hydroxide is being prepared? We have taken sodium amalgam which has been deposited at cathode. That sodium amalgam will be reacted with water and then it get converted into sodium hydroxide. Plus amalgam will get separated and hydrogen gas will be liberated out. Okay, let's move forward towards properties. Sodium hydroxide is a white deliquescent solid which having melting point 591 Kelvin. Okay, so the first property, that sodium hydroxide is a white deliquescent solid having melting point 591 Kelvin. It is highly water soluble. When we take sodium hydroxide and we add in the water, it gets soluble with water and it gives a strong alkaline solution. This sodium hydroxide, when it is being added in water, it is soluble in water, it get dissolved with water and then it get converted into strongly alkaline solution. The surface of the solution absorb atmospheric carbon dioxide. Here this sodium hydroxide, it will absorb carbon dioxide and it get converted into Na2CO3. Fine student, this is the properties of sodium hydroxide. We are moving forwards towards the uses. Sodium hydroxide is used in purification of bauxite. Bauxite is nothing but it is an aluminium ore. So this is the first uses. So it is used in the purification of bauxite. Second, it is used in commercially production of soap. The soap which we are using, paper, artificial silk and many chemicals. We are using sodium hydroxide in the preparation of many chemicals. Third usage, it is used for mustering cotton fabric. Okay. Fourth, it is used in petroleum refining. The process petroleum refining has been done, in that we are using sodium hydroxide. One of the most important uses, that is, it is an important laboratory reagent. We are performing various practical in the lab. We need sodium hydroxide for the conduction of various experiments. Hence, it is an important laboratory reagent. So, here student, we have studied today the preparation of sodium hydroxide, how it has been prepared, what is its properties and what is its uses. We are moving forward towards the next. Lithium, next compound, that is your lithium aluminium hydride. Remember here students, some of the compound which has been given in the textbook, we have not doing that as it has been deleted for the current year. So the one which is not been deleted, which is being present for the current year 2020-21, we are studying each and everything in detail. And the one which we are not studying, it means that portion has been deleted. So here the next compound is lithium. Lithium symbol Li. Aluminium Al. Hydride H4. So lithium aluminium hydride. Lithium aluminium hydride is commonly abbreviated as LAH. LAH means L means lithium, A means aluminium, H means hydride. So it is commonly known as LAH. It has chemical formula. The chemical formula for lithium aluminium hydride is LiAlH4. Fine. So what is the preparation, how it has been prepared? This lithium hydride. Now we are not talking about lithium aluminium hydride, we are taking the reactant lithium hydride. This lithium hydride is treated with aluminium chloride, AlCl3, lithium hydride LiH. This lithium hydride, when treated with aluminium chloride, it gives you lithium aluminium hydride. Okay, so here student, LiH, 4 molecule of lithium hydride, it is being treated with aluminium chloride, that is your AlCl3, then it gives lithium aluminium hydride, LiAlH4, and your lithium chloride, this is the side product. Okay, so this is the preparation of lithium aluminium hydride. What is its properties? Lithium aluminium hydride is a colorless solid. It is in solid in state and it is colorless. It reacts violently with water. When it is being treated with water, it reacts very violently. And even atmospheric moisture, wherever water is present, when we treat lithium aluminium hydride with water, it reacts violently. Fine, this is the property of lithium aluminium hydride. Let's move towards the uses. Lithium aluminium hydride is a source of hydride and therefore used as a reducing agent in organic compound. We are carrying out various reduction reaction, okay, in which we are oxidation reaction, reduction reaction, addition reaction. We are carrying out various reaction. Lithium aluminium hydride is a great reducing agent. So RC double bond OR, this is your, what it is? It is your ester, okay. RC double bond OR is your ester. RC double bond OH is your acid. This is the symbol for ester and acid. RC double bond OR is ester, RC double bond OH is your ether. When we carried out the reaction of ester with lithium aluminium hydride, which is a reducing agent in the presence of dry ether, it get converted the reactant ester into alcohol. Fine, it get convert the ester into alcohol. Similarly, with acid, we carried out the reaction with reducing agent lithium aluminium hydride in the presence of dry ether. It get convert acid into alcohol. Fine. So here, remember, lithium aluminium hydride is a source of hydride. So we are using it as a reducing agent in various organic synthesis. The second uses lithium aluminium hydride is useful to prepare phosphine. What is phosphine? PH3. PH3 is your phosphine. So this lithium aluminium hydride is used in the preparation of phosphine. So your phosphorus trichloride, this is your PCl3, is your phosphorus trichloride. When it is being reacted with lithium aluminium hydride, we are obtaining phosphine plus aluminium chloride plus lithium chloride. So here student, 4 molecule, 3 molecule, 4, this number has been just written to stable the reaction. In short, phosphorus trichloride, when it is being reacted with lithium aluminium hydride, it gives you phosphine with side product aluminium trichloride and lithium chloride. You are supposed to write this reaction as well as you are supposed to balance the equation. How? 4 molecule of PCl3 plus 3 molecule of lithium aluminium hydride. When this reactant get reacted, it get converted into the product 4 molecule of phosphine, that is the 4PH3 plus side product aluminium trichloride, that is your AlCl3 plus lithium chloride. So student, this is the uses for lithium aluminium hydride. We are moving forwards towards the numerical problem. Numerical problem has been remaining. Inshallah, we are going to do it today and then we are going to wind up the chapter. Here is the question. NaCl is an ionic compound. NaCl is an ionic compound, but lithium chloride has some covalent character. What do you mean by ionic compound? Ionic compound means the one which contains ions. As we know, Na carries positive charge, Cl carries negative charge. So it can dissociate into ions. While lithium chloride has some extent covalent characters. So here is the solution for the question, is that lithium ions has very small size. Okay, lithium atomic number is hydrogen, helium, lithium 3. Okay, therefore the charge density on lithium is high. As it having very small size, the charge density on lithium is high. Hence, it has high tendency to distort the electron cloud around a negatively charged large chloride ion. So, these lithium will distort the electron cloud around a negatively charged large chloride ion. Due to this, it results in partial covalent characters between lithium and chlorine bond. while sodium ions cannot distort the electron cloud of fluorine. Lithium ion can distort the electron cloud, but sodium ion cannot, due to which sodium ions having an ionic compound. So here students, sodium ion cannot distort the electron cloud of fluorine due to the bigger size of sodium compared to lithium. As we know, lithium has having very small size as compared to sodium, and due to which lithium is having charge density more. Hence, lithium can distort the electron cloud around a negatively charged whom chloride ions, while sodium cannot distort the electron cloud of chlorine. Due to these reasons, NaCl is an ionic compound, while lithium chloride has some covalent character. Let's move towards the next question. Magnesium strip slowly tarnish. You take a magnesium strip. Okay, strip is there. It tarnishes on keeping in air, but metallic calcium is readily attacked by air. Explain. Here magnesium strip, we take a magnesium strip and keep it on air, it tarnishes. But metallic calcium is readily attacked by air. We're supposed to explain it. We know magnesium and calcium both belongs to group 2. That is your alkaline earth metal. Both belongs to the same group, but their periods are different. Magnesium belongs to second period while calcium belongs to third period. During the reaction with air, the metallic magnesium and calcium lose their valence electron. When these elements, that is the magnesium and calcium, react with air, it loses their valence electrons. Hence, the tendency to lose valence electron is a metallic character which increases down to group. As we know, as we are moving in group 1 and group 2, the metallic characteristic is increasing. Hence, calcium will be having higher metallic characters than magnesium. So, calcium is having higher tendency to lose valence electron, and hence it will having lower ionization enthalpy than magnesium. Fine. As we know, down the group, metallic character is increasing, so calcium is having more metallic character. It will having greater tendency to lose valence electron. The one which gives an electron is metallic, okay, as we have studied it earlier. So, and this calcium is having lower ionization enthalpy than magnesium. Therefore, magnesium reacts slowly with air, forming a thin film of oxide, resulting in a tarnishing. It will react slowly with oxide. Fine. While calcium react readily at room temperature with oxygen and nitrogen in the air. So calcium and calcium react readily at room temperature with oxygen as well as with nitrogen in the air. So here student, the solution is that magnesium and calcium both belong to the same group, but magnesium belongs to second group while calcium belongs to the third group. And both are metallic in character as both of them lose their valence electron. But as we are moving down the group, metallic characters is increasing as the tendency to lose valence electrons is increasing down the group. So calcium is having higher metallic character, greater tendency to lose valence electron, and lower ionization enthalpy than magnesium. Due to this reason, magnesium reacts slowly with air, forming a thin film of oxide, which results into tarnishing of the strip. Whereas calcium reacts readily at room temperature with oxygen and nitrogen in the air. So here student, we have completed the chapter. Hope you all have understood the chapter. If you are having any kind of problem, any kind of difficulty in the chapter, let me know. Inshallah, we will sort it out. Give a little bit time to chemistry. It is a very easy chapter subject. Revise the topic once, twice. whatever the videos I have uploaded for the same, you are supposed to study it well, and whichever the topic has been deleted for the year 2020-21, we have not studied that topic, the, and remaining topic which has been there for the current year 2020-21, we have studied each and every topic in detail. Study well, student. Till then, do your best. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz. Thank you, student.